Hey yo, welcome to another edition of Hey Yo. I am the host of the show, whatever you want to call it, podcast, whatever you want to call it, Yo Rico Shelton. As always, we are sponsored by Rose Sweets LLC. That's Rose Sweets LLC, the best cake, pops, and cupcakes in the DMV area. Small based business out of Southern Maryland. You can see and reach them at row underscore sweets underscore LLC on Facebook and Instagram. And also contact them at Rose Sweets LLC at gmail.com. And the platform is always, as always, is provided by Riverside.fm to get this voice and this face to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, or wherever you can get your podcast from. Please like, share, and subscribe to Hey Yo with D Shelton. I greatly appreciate it because the subscriber base is growing. And I like to get this voice out to the world. With that being said, how's y'all week been? This has been a day without my Dallas Cowboys. I'm gonna be honest, thank God. I think even on the bye, we just allowed 130 yards rushing on the bye week. But we got a lot of stuff to talk about: football, politics. This might be a little all over the place today. Actually, for once, kind of don't care. Because, once again, my Cowboys ain't playing. So, F it. Or, well, excuse me, fuck it. We just gonna do what we do. And how we do and what we do is all up to yours truly. Aha! But on the for real, let's kind of jump into something right now. The Washington Commanders defeated the Carolina Panthers by a whopping score of 40-7. Oh, excuse me. Commanders. Put your left hand up. Whatever, man. I ain't happy to say it, but just looking at the teams, eye test wise, just to get it over with, Washington Commanders right now are better than my Dallas Cowboys. You happy? I said it. Kind of said it last week, but I'm really saying it. And I'm not saying it because they beat the Carolina Panthers. No. Good teams demolish bad teams. This is the first time that I've actually seen, in a long time, I should say, the Washington Commanders destroy a team that was way worse than them. I'm just going to say it because y'all know I really don't have no cut calls. The Carolina Panthers are atrocious, though. They are one of the worst teams in football I have actually ever seen. And that's crazy to me. It really is. It's like, damn. Andy Dalton throws the first touchdown that Washington scored today. Was by their offense. Their defense. You throw a screen, right? Throw a screen right to the defender, Andy Dalton. So I guess Carolina Panthers benching Bryce Young, that was supposed to fix some problems, right? Yeah, it won you a game. But you all are just awful. I've seen some bad teams with football. My 1-15 Dallas Cowboys way back when. The Detroit Lions and the Cleveland Browns, if I both recall, were 0-16. But at least Detroit had Megatron. The Browns just sucked and had bad luck. And we're going to talk some about something that happened today with the Browns too. But damn, you can't pass, you can't defend. Your special teams is atrocious. Your quarterback play is super awful. I mean, shit. It's like, what the hell are y'all on the field for? I know the running joke is that like a national championship team, say like the Miami Hurricanes, I want to say of 2000, and the Alabama Crimson Tide a few years ago, Joe Burrow's LSU Tigers, those type teams that they could beat a professional team. That ain't going to happen. But these teams could make it very damn interesting. I'll say the least. I give credit where credit is due. The Washington Commanders did what they're supposed to do. And for the first time in a long time, they're actually 3-0 at home. 3-0 at home. And the only concern right now I have is for Jaden Daniels because it looks like he has a rib injury. He took a shot after pretty much, I want to say, running for like 30-something yards. Or it was some play that he took a shot on. And he didn't return to the game for the second half. It ain't like they need him. But to put your mind at ease, watching Commander fans, I don't think it's a broken rib. It might be bruised cartilage in the ribs, which damn well almost feels like your ribs are broken. Trust me, I know. But it was enough for the doctors and the trainer to say, nah, you're not getting back in this game, buddy. You're not getting back in it. It ain't like they needed it because Marcus Mariota came in and picked up where he basically was about to leave off. For retrospect, Jaden Daniels only threw 2 passes for 6 yards because Washington's running game was doing the rest. Washington as a team ran for 214 yards today, people. 214 yards. Brian Robinson Jr., 12 carries, 71 yards, touchdown. Jaden Daniels, 3 carries for 50 yards. Like I said, he had a 46-yarder. I'm sorry. I have been corrected by looking at my stat sheet. Jerry McNichols, 7 rushes for 42 yards. Hell, Marcus Mariota ran 11 times for 34 yards, and Austin Eckler, who really wasn't needed, ran 4 for 17. If you want to go past and watch Marcus Mariota, 18 for 23, 205 yards. Average completion was for 8.9 yards a pop. 2 touchdowns. He was sacked only 1 time. His QB rating was 132.8. That's what you want for your backup. Your backup is supposed to come in spot situations. And what I mean spot situation, when the starter gets hurt for a game or two, and he fill in until the starter comes back in. That's what the backup role is supposed to do. Like Cooper Rush did for my Cowboys a couple years ago. Like Joe Flacco did for the Browns last season, getting them to the playoffs, and what Joe Flacco did for the Indianapolis Colts this season. All in all, I mean, let me go to the passing, the receiving stats. Scary Terry, 6 catches, 98 yards. Zach Ertz, 4 catches, 40 yards, touchdown. I cannot say his name. This is Zacharias. 4 catches, 25 yards. De'Ami Brown, 1 catch, 23. Noah Brown, 1 catch for 16. Now, I'm not going anymore because the game was pretty much, it was done. Andy Dalton giving the ball to Washington left and right. You don't believe me? Now, this is some bullshit. That's why I'm going to laugh at this because this is where I'm getting at, where this is like horrible. I mean, absolutely horrible. Andy Dalton who about 3 weeks ago took over for Bryce Young. And I'm glad for Bryce because he ain't got to sit back and get his ass whooped and his confidence being shot. You don't need this particular team to have your confidence just go through the toilet. Andy Dalton was 11 for 16 for 93 yards, 5.8 per completion, no touchdowns, picked off twice, sacked twice. His QB rating was 44. Now, granted, they threw Bryce Young in the game, and pretty much he just 2 for 2 for -4 yards. As a team, and I've never seen this before. The last time I seen anything like this was the 2000 Baltimore Ravens. Carolina Panthers, between the two quarterbacks, passed for 85 yards. 85. Now, they weren't that much better running the football. Give credit to the Washington defense. 17 carries for Hubbard. Chuba Hubbard. 17 carries, 52 yards. He had a touchdown in the fourth quarter when it was garbage time, basically. Game was well over. Miles Sanders, 3 carries for 34 yards. Xavier Leggett, 1 carry for 5. Andy Dalton scrambled basically for 3 yards twice. This is just horrible. Look at this. Look at these stats. Jatavion Sanders, 6 catches for 61 yards. Everybody else had either 1 catch or 2 catches. Credit to the Washington defense. You do get paid. They're professionals. You do get paid. But god damn. This was like, wow. Seriously. Wow. Now, Washington did what they're supposed to do. You take a team that's beneath you and you beat the holy hell out of them. It ain't rocket science, and god dang it, did they. I was, how could I was impressed, but I wasn't impressed because Carolina just is god awful. But at the same time, I have to give the Commanders credit for beating that ass. I will be frank. This is a game that back in the day, last year, under Ron Rivera, whoever you want, you just go back. You can go back 20 years. This is a game that Washington would actually lose. To be honest, this will be a game that they would lose traditionally. But once again, when you hired Dan Quinn, I said he was going to right the ship for you. He may not finish it, but he's going to right the ship. He's going to bring discipline. He's a motivator. Check my Cowboy defense, except when it came to, stopping the run. Check his record in Atlanta when they got rid of him after the Super Bowl after a year and a half, if I'm not mistaken. Remember, his offense coordinator, if I'm not mistaken, was Kyle Shanahan during that Super Bowl, who kept throwing the goddamn ball. Now, I do believe that whole situation was Dan Quinn's fault because I would have just overruled Kyle and said, look, run the damn ball till we get up out of here and get our trophy. But neither here nor there. Dan Quinn is doing a hell of a job right now, as I knew he would. And I know y'all come in and say, you just saying that. No, I seen the transformation for 3 years with Dallas's defense. Y'all don't understand how bad that Dallas defense was under Mike Nolan, who got fired. And then Jerry Jones, who I'm going to speak to in a little bit, you know what I mean, went out and got Dan Quinn, who fixed the ship, so to speak. And then You know, did what he had to do. Got the defense into the top 10, except for when it came to rushing the ball, because Dallas is a defense that's built to have the lead. If Dallas has the lead, they can sink the headhunters on, except for this year because injuries have taken a toll on the Dallas Cowboys. But even still, and I forgot about this, and this is my bad. I kept forgetting that last couple years with Mike Zimmer's defense in Minnesota, they sucked. I forgot. My bad. I had to go back during this week and look at some of the defense, and I'm like, what the fuck? This is why they couldn't get over the hump. I'm thinking Mike Zimmer when he was with us originally. That defense was good. No, 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 no. As far as Dallas right now, we're going to be third in the division because we're better than the Giants. But for the first time in a long time, Washington is better than us. God damn it, I said it again. My only concern for you all is Jaden Daniels. Will he get the needle next week to play? Because if I'm not mistaken, I want to say y'all got the Eagles, but let me check. I could be wrong. Nope, you got the Bears, and you got the Bears. That's gonna be interesting, especially if Jaden doesn't play, because the Bears, the whole NFC North is good. By the way, the undefeated streak is now over for Minnesota. By the way, Minnesota finally loses um, to Detroit. And I was actually rooting for Minnesota because how Detroit disrespected my Cowboys. But that's my Dallas Cowboys fault. And that's Jerry Jones' fault. We're going to get into that in a sec. But congratulations, Washington Commanders. You actually have a good football team. As I predicted, you're a year early than I thought. I expect Washington to be in the playoffs. I do. If you're not in the playoffs, it's only because you didn't win the division. Because I think three teams is coming out in NFC North. That's just me. So I think you have to win the division. You can't play around with Philly because Philly pretty much escaped the damn selves. Well, I ain't gonna say escape. They played the Giants. My fault. I'm bullshit. I'm bullshit. Daniel Jones suck. If the Giants had a legit quarterback, they might be okay. But that's neither here nor there. It is what it is. Grants Washington Commanders. What y'all say? Put your left hand up. Whatever that bullshit is, man. Get the fuck out of here. I'm getting sick giving y'all props, but I gotta be real. Speaking of real, damn, I love it. See, there's several different teams. There's a team that I respect, but low key don't like, and that's Pittsburgh Steelers. But I don't hate them. But then there's other teams that I'm like, you know what? Because of the history, I can't stand them. One of them is the San Francisco 49ers. The Kansas City Chiefs, if I recall, the only undefeated team in the NFL as of this moment still by defeating the San Francisco 49ers 28-18. Yeah. If you listening to this, I'm smiling. If you're seeing me, you know I'm smiling. The reason being I'm smiling because it's something I said last season, and quiet as kept, I said kind of 2 years ago when I saw Brock Purdy. And I'm gonna get into that, but let me speak on my homeboy, Patrick Mahomes. He did not have his greatest game, but when they needed a play, damn it, he did it. Patrick Mahomes was 16 for 27 for only 154 yards. His completion percentage, his average pass per completion, was only 5.7 yards. He was actually picked off twice, sacked twice. QB rating of 44.4. You see them numbers, you be like, God damn. He Patrick Mahomes sucked. They lost. No, they didn't. Because they had 184 yards rushing. And one of the biggest plays that set up a touchdown was by Patrick Mahomes, who scrambled for, I want to say it was like 32 yards. He faked out, he actually faked out, I want to say it was Warren. Then scooted kind of down the sidelines, did the pause, and one of the San Francisco defenders flew by him, and he ran for another 15, which set up the touchdown that pretty much, in a sense, put the game away. And here's the rushing stats for Kansas City. Kareem Hunt, welcome back. 22 rushes, 78 yards, 2 touchdowns. Again, Patrick Mahomes scrambled 5 times, 39 yards. Like I said, 33-yarder that I'm talking about was the longest. Mecole Hardman, 2 rushes, 38 yards. Carson Steele, 6 carries, 17 yards. I'm not going to go into the rest. You know what it is. The receiving, Noah Gray, their backup tight end, 4 catches, 66 yards. He's slowly becoming a factor. It's not always the Travis Kelce show anymore, ladies and gentlemen. Andy Reid has a tendency to bring somebody up. And once you earn the trust of Andy Reid and you earn the trust of now Patrick Mahomes, you're in good. You know what I'm saying? Purdy, 1 catch for 22 yards. I'm just going to give you some of the stats. Xavier Worthy, 3 catches, 19 yards, and Patrick Mahomes missed Xavier Worthy on a bomb, and he missed him by maybe 2 yards, a yard and a half, which is something we thought couldn't be possible since the kid runs basically a 4.2 40. Woo! Travis Kelce, 4 catches, 17 yards. Not going any more than that. Here's what I'm getting at, though. The famed San Francisco running game. The seal, 1 cut. This is the difference. Kansas City defense did their job. Don't believe me? Cool. San Francisco only ran for 101 yards. Jordan Mason, the backup, that backup that everybody said could replace Christian McCaffrey. Yeah, that's a lie. He had 14 carries, 58 yards. Brock Purdy, 8 carries himself, 27 yards. He ran for 2 touchdowns. Kyle Kazuich, whatever his name is, 1 carry, 14 yards. And Isaiah Granado, 1 carry for 2. They held that San Francisco running game in check. And if it wasn't for a 26-yard run by Jordan Mason, it would have been worse. But here's the stat that I want to get to. Brock Purdy, the one that everybody was getting on Cam Newton about, saying he's a game manager, not a game changer. Like, being a game manager is bad. The greatest quarterback of all time, Tom Brady, was a game manager in the beginning of his career. But that's something for a different time. Brock Purdy, like I said, 17 for 31, 212 yards. His average completion was 6.8. He was picked off 3 times, sacked only once, but he was harassed a whole bunch during the game. His QB rating was 36.7. If you put pressure on Brock Purdy, oh, by the way, Trent Williams got ejected for punching the dude in 2. But I can't blame Trent for that, because dude kind of shoved Trent's head and Trent don't play that shit. And he punched him. Hopefully he doesn't get suspended for the next game, but I doubt the NFL do that. He's probably just going to get fined. But Brock Purdy was harassed basically all day. All day. If you can get Brock Purdy off his spot and put people in his face, he's not Joe Montana. He's not Steve Young. He's none of them. Stop putting them already up there. Yes, he went to a Super Bowl. Yes, technically he got them to an NFC Championship game. Yes, he's Mr. Irrelevant. Yes, he's a starting quarterback. But do not put this young man on a pedestal yet. He ain't reached there. Hell, he ain't even Jeff Garcia. Remember Jeff Garcia? I know y'all do 49er fans. Give Jeff Garcia some credit. Now, as for the receiving, George Kittle had a day. He had 6 catches for 92 yards, no touchdowns. Like I said, no one caught a touchdown pass. Jacob Conway, 2 catches, 50 yards. Brandon Ayuk, 2 catches, 23 yards. And hurt his knee. I'm hoping it's nothing serious. But he was on the cart. He was on the cart and he was pointing to his knee. So I'm hoping for the best. Ricky Pearlson, 3 catches, 21 yards. I'm not going in anymore. Everybody else just got 1 catch or whatever. But that San Francisco 49 defense was torched. It was torched. It got ran on. Basically, the Kansas City Chiefs out-physical San Francisco 49ers. See, here's something that I want people to pay attention to. You're going to hear from me first. San Francisco, without Debo and Christian McCaffrey, those 2 individuals, they make the whole thing go. Is Brandon Ayuk a number 1? Yes. But the offense really revolves around Debo and Christian McCaffrey. If you can control, especially Christian McCaffrey, when he comes back, you can beat San Francisco. If you can put pressure on Brock Purdy, you can beat San Francisco. That's it. And on defense, especially the defensive line, do your job. Don't do anything extra. You're not going to get to the quarterback like that. You're not going to be able to do stunts and twists and everything like that. You're going to have to do run blitzes for someone to fill one of the gaps because that one seal and the cut is coming. Fill the holes. Pause. Do your job. If you can do your job, you can stop San Francisco's running game. I mean, it's easier said than done, but Kansas City proved it today. Do your damn job. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. If you can just defensive line, do your job. Linebackers, look at your keys, because what that running game that San Francisco does and a couple other teams do, they do misdirection and they want you to over pursue. Just wait. The cut is coming. And when the cut comes, tackle. That means wrap up. Don't try to do a hit stick. Wrap up. That's it. That's always been the way you can beat a Mike Shanahan's type running game. Mike Shanahan's running game is beautiful to watch. But if you do your job, you can stop it. Kansas City did their job and were able to stop it. Now, you do need the personnel. You hear that, Jerry Jones? You do need the personnel to, some fat dudes, a dominant defensive tackle that's going to do his job for the team, not for stats. He's going to read his keys and hold his position. Easier said than done, but it can be done. And to transition to say it's done, The Cleveland Browns was defeated today by the Cincinnati Bengals, right? Y'all probably like, we don't care. No, you don't. But at the same time, here's the problem. Deshaun Watson's season is over once again. He tore his ACL. Non-contact. So I'm going to say something that's controversial on two fronts. One, Karma's a bitch because the allegations that were laid upon him. Do I believe all the women? I'll hold that to myself. Do I believe at least one of those women? Yes. Now, here's the flip side also. Because of the allegations that was laid upon him, the latest one happened before the season, which is kind of ironic and late. Let me say this to my women before y'all get up on my comments and get mad. I'm not saying that the woman does not, this last one I should say, does not deserve to be heard. But it's kind of funny you do it before the season starts instead of being with the other women that, you know, filed a suit against him. It's just weird timing to me, that's all. Not saying that she's lying. No, it's just weird ass timing. Weird timing. Weird timing. And also his father allegedly had died before the season also. So all this is fucked with his mental and his confidence. Deshaun Watson needs therapy. And I would suggest if you listen to this, Deshaun, which probably you're not, why would you? Get some therapy, bro. You got a lot of emotional and mental stuff going on right now. You're not the same guy at Clemson. You're not the same guy at Houston. And you constantly are getting hurt. And now you don't tore your ACL from reports. You need to sit down, bro. As one man to another that went through some mental hurdles, speedy recovery, because we don't want to see players get injured on the field. Speedy recovery. But while you rehab, seek help because you're not the same. I think the Browns have 2 more years on your contract because it's fully guaranteed. So they can't get out of it. But on the flip side for the Cleveland Browns organization, maybe it's time for you all to draft another quarterback because Deshaun's mental is gone. That's it's a wrap. Second, if he starts, at least you have someone behind him, pause, to watch and learn and not throw him to the wolves. Just a thought. Just a thought. Because this, unfortunately, is a fucked up situation. And speaking of fucked up, I'm just gonna play something first. And this is courtesy of Get Up on ESPN. Right? Listen to this.
I have the sound now. I'm being told our team is the best in the business, and we got this turned around that fast. So again, this was just moments ago. Jerry Jones on 105.3 in Dallas when asked about not making more moves in the offseason. Let's hear it.
This is not your job.
Your job isn't to let me go over all the reasons that I did something and I'm sorry that I did it. That's not your job.
Well, my job is to ask why.
Or I'll get somebody else to ask these questions, man.
Jerry, we're trying to figure out why the team is.
I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. You're not going to figure out what the team is doing right or wrong. If you are, or any 5 or 10 like you, you need to come to this meeting I'm going to today. There are 32 teams here. You're geniuses.
Jerry,
okay. Y'all really think you're going to sit here with a microphone and tell me all of the things that I've done wrong and without going over the right?
That was Jerry Jones. After my Dallas Cowboys, what was it, 2 days after, on the radio show on 105.3 The Fan, which is the official station for the Dallas Cowboys in Dallas, Texas. But like I said, me personally, I listen to the ticket more, but that's just me. The ticket in Dallas. Let me be clear. But like I said, that was courtesy of Get Up. Let me say this as a Dallas Cowboy fan. We all know the problem when it comes to Dallas. The ones that really watch and know the game. 3 straight seasons of 12-5. But we all knew, well, I can't say we all knew. People like me who watch the games over, who look at all 22 film after the games, say, you know what? Here's the weakness. It's been that way for going on 4 years, basically 5 technically. When I joke around and say we need some fat dudes, we need fat dudes for, say it with me, to help stop the run. Who gets the players? Jerry Jones. Who's the player, who's head of player personnel? That will be Will McKay, who scouts and finds the players that Jerry eventually gets. But Jerry has the final say. Remember this? I'm going to say it. You remember when Johnny Manziel was coming out? Jerry wanted him. You know who stopped him? Will McKay. That's right. He did. When a couple other players wanted to get paid because Jerry so-called loves his players, Will McKay and Stephen Jones stopped him. If Jerry Jones had his way, Ezekiel Elliott last season would never have left for New England. That was Will McKay. You know who brung Zeke back? It wasn't Will McKay. Will McCray, excuse me. That was Jerry Jones. You know who let our center go to Washington? Who's, by the way, having a Pro Bowl year? That would be Jerry Jones. Who drafted a center and drafted Guyton, our now left tackle, who's hurt, who's going to probably be starting next week, who gets beat like a drum every week. So Dak, who is getting $60 million, barely has time to throw. You know what else? Jerry didn't give Dak any real weapons. Oh, he waited till 10 days before the season started to give CD his money when he should have gave CD his money the season before. You know why? Because he would have probably ended up cheaper. 1, 2, Dak would have had his number 1 receiver with him during training camp. And I know what a lot of people say, you had 4 or 5 years with him. You should have chemistry. It does not work that way. This is not out in the street where you pick up some dudes and you playing touch football in the street or tackle football. It doesn't work that way. You must go through practice against your defense, which, by the way, has two star wolf cornerbacks, to get your timing right. You also have to go through practice against other teams to get your timing right. Have you noticed that Dak and CD's been off? I wonder why. Like I said, didn't have him until 10 days before the season start. Who got the offensive line? Zach Martin's old now. Still on the right tackle, he's okay, but he's no starter for real. So both sides, the meat and potatoes of the team, the offense defensive lines are getting whooped. You wonder why Dallas can't run the football? It's not the running back. The offensive line can't run block. It hasn't been able to run block in 3 years. Derrick Henry would have been magical, but damn, Derrick Henry would not be able to run through whatever hole he could in this with this offensive line. You know who gets that? Jerry Jones. The wide receiving core, besides CeeDee Lamb. If you go through Bleacher Report, through an article, Troy Aikman, who watches Dallas because, he commentates, what I'm saying, if I recall, one of the best at it. You know what Troy says for Monday Night Football? He said Dallas wide receiving core basically are lazy and run bad routes. So when I was watching the film and Dak threw was supposed to have been to CD and it was picked off in the end zone, that was CD's fault because he was supposed to stop. But CD kept going. And if you don't, that was a couple of weeks ago. That was against Pittsburgh Steelers. So that wasn't Dak's fault. All interceptions are not the quarterback's fault. But whose fault is that? Ultimately, Jerry Jones. And the reason why I wanted to play you all that clip, because you can tell me everything about a man or woman when they have adversity. And Jerry Jones came out pompous, arrogant, and a motherfucking bully. You basically threatened that man and his job because he gets paid. Now, granted, you have a partnership with that station, yes. And if Jerry Jones wanted to make that call and say, I want this dude fired, guess what's going to happen? The dude's going to lose his job. For people that say he can find another job in Dallas, no, he can't. This is Jerry fucking Jones. And I can tell you, the most powerful man in the NFL is Jerry Jones. Remember a few years ago, he tried to get Roger Goodell out of there. The owners had to say no. That's how powerful this man is. Jerry Jones runs Dallas. I'm going to say what I said. I said what I said. Dallas is the Dallas Cowboys. It's not the Mavericks. It's not the Olive. It's not the Rangers. It's not. It's not. And for this old geezer, I'm being insulting right now because I'm pissed. To threaten a man's livelihood, that's some bitch shit. That really is. To threaten a man's job because he asked you the questions and you want a softball? You got this bull. You remember you said I'm all in, giving all us Dallas Cowboy fans hope. Not me, because I'm like, I'll believe when I see it. I knew You want to show me? Let's get number 22, that big ass beast from Tennessee. Did you even attempt? No. And Derrick Henry lives and trains in Dallas. You would have got him for a song because the Ravens are paying him $8 million. Dallas, Texas has no state income tax, so that $8 million, he would have saved money. Did you even go after Saquon Barkley? Nope. Did you do that? Yeah. How about Joe Mixon? No. How about Williams that's in New Orleans right now? Nope. Ain't like they probably would have did a great with this offensive line that you constructed. Am I a Mike McCarthy fan? No. But Mike McCarthy knows how to win games. 12-5, 12-5, 12-5. Super Bowl winner. If you put Mike McCarthy's overall record, technically he has a right to be in the Hall of Fame when he's done. You want me to be real about it? Look at his record, his winning percentage. And I'm basing this off coaches that have coached 10 years or more. But more likely because, and that's another thing, Mike McCarthy is coaching on his final year of his contract. So you think players are really going to pay attention to a coach who's basically a lame duck? Why would any coach come and coach Dallas when I got this old ass man above me, pretty much telling me how to coach my fucking team? Who's getting me these players? Has Jerry Jones hit some? Yes. CD, well, for example, Michael Parsons. Oh, that my bad. That's a Will McCray dude. Because people forget Michael was supposed to be either a strong side linebacker or a middle linebacker. He was going to work his way when Van Esch eventually was going to leave. That was the purpose. Deron Bland. No, that my bad. That was Will too. Trayvon Diggs. Jerry hit some, but when it comes to the meat and potatoes, no. Dallas has drafted well, but not well enough to win a Super Bowl. It's been going on 30 years now. Hasn't even sniffed the NFC Championship game per se. The one time that I think my Cowboys had a shot was the catch. That never happened. You know who was coaching on the other side? That was Mike McCarthy, boys and girls. Go ahead and look it up. The Dez Bryant catch, no catch, that the NFL had to change the rules for. So now it's a catch. Mike McCarthy was the head coach of the Green Bay Packers then. Oops. What I'm saying is this. Jerry Jones, for us Cowboy fans, when he's finally out of the picture, that's when Dallas may win another Super Bowl because his ego won't take it. He can't take it. He can't take being not the focal point. And he's being the focal point now because mainstream sports media is now saying the quiet part out loud. Jerry Jones is fucked up. He can't take it because let's be real. He's a narcissist. He can't take it. And when he says, I could take it from media, I could take it from my fans, but for you guys who I pay, I ain't taking that. No, Jerry. No. This is really the first time because if you didn't notice this part, when we played Detroit, there's a lot of Detroit fans in there. Did you notice that? You didn't, did you? Go back and listen to the game. I would say a good 40% of those fans in there were Detroit Lions fans. I'm dead ass serious. Jerry don't like that. Don't get me wrong. Jerry loves money. Jerry loves money. Let's not get that twisted. He loves money. But yeah, when the Ravens played Dallas, if you pay attention, there's a lot of Ravens fans in Dallas. The New Orleans Saints game, there's a lot of New Orleans Saints fans that was in Dallas. Now the Dallas Fort Worth area is starting to say, you know what? We ain't gonna deal with this shit. Nah, nah, fuck that. And now Dallas has to go on Sunday Night Football and play the 49ers, who just basically got their ass beat by the Chiefs. And Christian McCaffrey may be back for that game. Prepare, my Cowboy fans, prepare for another ass whooping. Because Jerry Jones put this on the field. Jerry Jones won't back off. Jerry Jones is a bully. I was going to go to a game this year. 9 times out of 10, I'm not going, because if I put my money in this and go to Dallas, it's going to Jerry Jones' pocket. So the only way this can change is if Dallas hits rock bottom, which for the first time in a long time, and a lot of you Commander fans ain't going to believe what I'm saying, as a lot of you might laugh, I need Dallas, especially this year, to hit rock bottom. I do not need my Cowboys getting into the playoffs. I don't need them even sniffing the playoffs, a possibility of it. Because that's the only way something's going to change. If we get in the playoffs or miss the playoffs by a half game or a game, Jerry's going to try to spend that shit. No. It can't be spent. You know why Dak Prescott probably signed that $60 million? And he's probably regretting it and not regretting it because, of course, they're getting paid. I got to deal with this shit. Do you realize the $60 million is not just for the field? I got to deal with this bullshit. Dak Prescott, if he would have left free agent, would have got paid $60 million. Somebody in the NFL was going to pay him. Let's be clear. Let's be clear on that. Some of y'all say, no, he wouldn't. Yes, he would. In this league, which everybody needs a quarterback, don't be surprised if Dak was a free agent, he'd be a New York Giant real quick. Dak Prescott as New York Giant when the Giants really need a quarterback? How about the Cleveland Browns right now? With those weapons? Oh, and they're having a fire sale right now because Amari Toomer's gone. Or how about Dak Prescott as a Raider before Devontae Adams got traded? See what I'm getting at? You see where I'm going. There's at least 8 teams that will take Dak Prescott right now. But he re-signed with Dallas, and $60 million is I got to deal with this bullshit, so I might as well get paid for it. Jerry Jones is a bully. I love my Dallas Cowboys, but until that man is gone, Cowboy fans, we're gonna go through this, and it says a lot of a man to threaten a man who's I don't want to get racial, but I'm just going to speak from my experience. When I see an old white man who's got money and powerful, they tend to bully the little guy. Whether it is black, Latino, or white, they tend to bully the little guy. It's a power thing. And for you to threaten a man and his job because you ain't like a question, That tells me a lot about a man. A lot about a man. And Jerry Jones still hasn't apologized yet. He's not going to because he feels he's not wrong, which is some bullshit. Now, I know normally the show will end, but I got a couple more things to get off my chest. Sports wise, for all the haters of Mr. Primetime Deion Sanders, and I don't want to jinx this, so let me knock on wood. His Colorado Buffaloes have now won more games than they did last year. Yeah, last year. 2 years ago, before he got there, they only won one game. So we went from one game to 4 games, now to 5 games. He's 3-1 in the Big 12. So if he can possibly run this table, he'll be in the Big 10. I'm sorry, Big 12 championship game. His Buffaloes beat the Arizona Wildcats 34-7. He's one more game away from being bowl eligible. And in his words, he doesn't want to be in a minor bowl. I don't want to see him in the Blue Bonnet Bowl. Put him on a bowl that a lot of eyes are on. Because from, was it Paul Feinbaum to people on CBS to a couple other people on ESPN to some people on Fox Sports, all hating because you want to see this man fail because the clicks are on him. Celebrities are there. Black celebrities, let's be frank, from athletes to entertainers. Let's be real about it. Let's keep it all the way funky. And Travis Hunter, who's supposed to be the Heisman in my eyes, I'm just saying he only played a half because of the shoulder. Shedeur Sanders is looking more and more like a top 10 NFL pick each week. I still think he holds onto the balls too much, but that's a subject for a different day. The defense is slowly getting better. Warren Sapp is coaching the defensive line. Did y'all know that? The offensive line is slowly getting better. Colorado rushed for 155 yards. They're slowly getting better. Huh. You don't say. So for all the haters of primetime, kick rocks. Kick rocks. Because like I said, here's, you want me to be real? I'm going to give you, because the Big 12 really ain't the Big 12, but here's the standings. BYU 4-0, Iowa State 4-0, Kansas State 3-1, Texas Tech 3-1, Cincinnati 3-1, Colorado 3-1. They're in the mix. They should have beat Kansas State 2 weeks ago. What you got to say now? If Deion can win 8 games, successful. More than successful. Heaven forbid if he can get, 9, what you really going to say? Because guess what's going to happen? He's going to hit that transfer portal, and now the high school recruits will start coming. Huh. Go figure. So for that, I can say for prime time, because he's too classy, kiss his ass. Also, before I leave, who else can kiss my ass? But I'm not surprised. because they're entertainers. Mr. Mark Calloway and Glenn Jacobs. If you don't know that name for me with Mark Calloway, he is the Undertaker. Yes, of WWE fame. Glenn Jacobs, if you don't know who that is Kane from WWE fame. The reason why I said they can kiss my ass on this one, and once again, I do not care about someone's political affiliation. I really don't. Oh, by the way, Glenn Jacobs is the mayor of Cox County in Tennessee, by the way. Republican. And when I'm saying this, ain't nothing wrong with being a Republican. Let me reiterate that. There's nothing wrong with being a Republican. As long as you're a real Republican, I got no problem with it. And you'd be surprised at who are Republicans that and this is for people, for my wrestling fans like me. Do not be surprised at this. Ric Flair said he was a Republican. This was a few years ago. And you know Ric Flair to me is like the GOAT. He's a Republican. You wouldn't know it, but he is. I wouldn't be surprised if Triple H is Republican. Stephanie McMahon will be Republican. Remember, Vince McMahon, Donald Trump, they're boys. So you don't think that Mark Calloway, aka The Undertaker, wouldn't be a Republican? Because what? He rides motorcycles. He got tattoos everywhere. Those are dudes I know would probably be Republican. You know why? Because I seen them. Starch Republican. I don't care. But here's what I care about. Let me sip on water real quick because my throat's getting dry. Pause. Here's what I care about. Undertaker's having Donald Trump on his podcast. So he's giving Donald Trump a platform to lie some more. And actually lie in your face. This is what I'm saying, that in the political world, you all are happy being lied to. And yes, there are other rappers. Was it Ice Spice and Sexy Red both said they're gonna vote for Donald Trump. I don't care about these ratchet female rappers. Why is Sexy Red sexy? I don't get it. Yeah, she doesn't look that appealing to me. But that's a whole different. Each his own. Don't be surprised about these people because if I don't think 50 Cent said he's endorsing Donald Trump, but you got to understand they're not for you, the little guy like me and you. They're not. They're doing this for their tax dollars. They are millionaires, damn well super millionaires, and to be close, billionaires. Not everybody is Jay-Z and Beyonce and Taylor Swift, ladies and gentlemen. So don't separate the entertainment that they provide us from the person. Separate that. I can separate The Undertaker from Mark Calloway. I can. For reasons I don't know. Why would you have him on the podcast? I know why Glenn is, because Glenn on Kane, aka Kane, has done a lot of wild stuff on Twitter, pushing conspiracy theories. He's a nut job, lies and all sorts of stuff. But again, for those that are listening that are Republican, you like being lied to. Let me be frank. Like I say, you don't like to see that reflection coming back at you. It's your fault, not mine. It's not my job to teach you shit. It's up to you to look something up. But I know, let's say Dave Bautista, I know he's a Democrat. He's a super liberal. I know Mick Foley's a liberal, for example. Why? Because I want to say Mick Foley said he was. And Dave Bautista got something on Twitter, Instagram, and his TikTok, pretty much laying Donald Trump out. And then say he called him a little whiny little bitch. He is, by the way. So what I'm getting at is, do not be surprised that your favorite entertainers, actors, wrestlers are Republicans supporting this man. Do I believe Mark Calloway, the man, is a staunch racist? I can't answer that. I can't. But what I can say, he's on the wrong side of history. I can say that. Because if you support this man with 34 felonies and up team SA charges, the DOJ was after him in the 70s and the early 80s for not renting to black and brown. I can go on the Central Park file. There's so much evidence, and he's in the report. He's lied over 30,000 times while he was in president of the United States. You want the man that said he wants Netanyahu to finish the job, but the woman that wants to have a ceasefire finally. Speaking of which, why don't y'all stop pretty much going after Kamala? She has no power. Right now, she still don't have any power. She's just part of the ticket when it was the Biden administration. She's the vice president. I wish y'all would look up the duties of the vice president. I swear, look them joints up. You be like, damn, they don't have no power. No shit. But I'm gonna be very clear. Biden, and if you want me to say Harris, has no bearing on Netanyahu, what Netanyahu does. If they say, fuck that, stop, we're not giving you shit, Netanyahu's still going to do what Netanyahu wants to do for Israel. He's going to do that. Y'all don't think we're for goddamn, but that's a whole different ballgame. But back to the subject at hand. You have got to stop being surprised when your favorite entertainer, then damn it, Dennis Quaid was in a Trump rally and did a speech. Come on, man. You have to. Sometimes part of me thinks that I think the Undertaker, because he's getting the podcast game, wanted a guest that was so, I guess you could say, technically impactful. And who's going to tell, and Donald Trump's really going to tell him no? Especially since he's not going to get any hard questions. I mean, I could understand business wise why you would do it. Culturally, no. But that's on Mark Calloway. Like I said, I could separate the man from the character of the Undertaker. And if Mark Calloway decides to get in a WWE ring as the Undertaker and do some shit, I'll more likely still be yelling and cheering and whatever. Oh, by the way, The Rock is a Democrat. Possibly. But would you be surprised if The Rock says I'm a Republican? I want y'all to get prepared for that, even though I know 9 out of 10 he's a Democrat. I want y'all to understand that shit. I saw online people surprised. I'm not. I'm not. It's cool though. Just remember who the people are that support this man, not the Republican Party per se, because real Republicans are standing up, not the errand boys, the whipping boys, and the ones that want power. Real Republicans are standing against this man. So just remember this. When it comes to the actual people, you have to separate them from whatever they do to entertain you and I. That's all. With that being said, I'm about to be out. This was a long one. If you want to call being an hour, a little over an hour long, I guess long for me. Anyway, to recap, Commanders destroyed the Carolina Panthers 47. Hopefully, Jaden Daniels, his ribs are fine. Hopefully. Jerry Jones is an old, narcissistic bully. Patrick Mahomes did his thing against San Francisco with making plays, but Kansas City as a team whooped San Francisco ass. By the way, he was in San Francisco. And the naysayers can pretty much kiss Deion Sanders patootie. He's one win away from being bowl eligible. And he only has one loss in the Big 12 conference. Aha. I'd like to thank y'all for listening to me. Once again, thank you to Riverside.fm for providing the platform so I can get y'all on Spotify, Apple, iHeartRadio, or wherever you get your podcasts. As always, my sponsor, Rose Sweets LLC. That's Rose Sweets LLC, the best cake, pops, and cupcakes in the DMV area. Small base business. You can reach them and see them at Row_Sweets_LLC on Facebook and Instagram. And also, you contact them at RollSweetsLLC at gmail.com. I'm getting up out of here. Hopefully, y'all week goes cool. I'm going to try to maneuver some things, see if I can get y'all a political podcast sometime this week. Don't hold me to it, but I'm going to try. But as I always tell y'all, may Father and the ancestors take care of you, your loved ones, and anybody else that you care about. I'll definitely see y'all next week at least. Peace.